Yes, people.
Yes, we're here again.
You're on Unscripted Xtra.
Thank you for all the guys that have been watching, listening.
Much appreciated,
Very,
as always.
very much appreciated. So today we're going to be reviewing and reacting to something a bit different. Some financial literacy.
Financial literacy. You can't go on with financial literacy. You need it, man.
You can't. So, title of the video, I got rich when I understood this. Wall Street Trapper.
Wall Street Trapper. I'm very intrigued and interested to know what kind of trapping you're doing.
Indeed. And someone called Tom Billieu. Whatever. We'll probably put a link in as well. Anyway, you'll see it.
But yeah, man, let's get into it. That is just
money manager I want. And you are as knowledgeable as the money manager that I have. I'm very impressed with your ability to explain these concepts. There are certain people that are only going to listen to you. They now have access to, I'm telling you, world-class information.
Wealthy people do three things, man. They stop trading time for money. They make their money work for them. And they give as much value to people as they can. And so I learned that as I got older. That part really didn't make sense to me at the time, but the money working for you part, and I was like, how do you make your money work for you? Again, all I know is how to go get money. So he says, wealthy people, first they get into stocks, then they start a business, and then they get real estate. I took my time, I researched the Warren Buffetts and the Peter Lynch's, and I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning, that like Chinese to me. Right? This is a foreign language. And so what happened to me was it started reminding me of being in the streets. Everything about it. And I heard this term one time that said the real gangsters are on Wall Street.
Once you know how something works, then you can get good at it. But if you, and I really think the vast majority of humanity, and I don't care what class you're in, the vast majority of humanity does not understand how the world works. Therefore, they are at the mercy of the world, and the people that figure out how it works can change things. You know, you have to understand how things work. And like, yeah, that is to me what is so powerful about you. You understand a game that a lot of people that are disenfranchised understand, the streets. And you're saying, it's just physics. Let me show you the correlate over here. It's all the same.
It's the same. That's it. And so that's important for me, the understanding the basics and the fundamentals. Like once you start understanding the fundamentals, you give yourself power. Because you now understand, like you said, you see how the machine works, right? And so most people look at the machine and marvel and say either, like most people look at the stock market, 98% of the people who I know look at the stock market and say, yo, that's not a game I can play. I'm staying away from it. And so the way it's set up is, the world is set up, well, listen, cool, I don't even want you to play. Just give me your money, I'll play it for you. So when we look at like banks, like we understand that banks don't necessarily work in our favor, right? So banks only give us 0.05% interest on the money we have there. Well, we can get 8% just by putting our money in an index fund. So why would I just sit my money in a bank and let the bank make all the money? Because all they're gonna do is invest the money for you. So they now operating as the plug. They operate now as the man.
That's mad. When you deep it's actually mad. Because again, that's why, like, for me, again, all my money is just sitting and saving. Because this was someone that told me as well, like, if your money is just sitting there, like, nothing is happening to it, at least if you've even got it invested in something, it might go down in something. But at the same time, it could also go up. So when they say your money is working for you, like, your money, if your money is just sitting, boom, in the bank, in the savings, it's not doing anything. It's at the mercy of whatever the interest rate is at the bank. And even the interest rate is poor. And at the end of the day, the bank is going to go and invest your money as well
100%,
anyway. So they're making money from your money whilst you are just keeping it there.
Yes, 100%, just collecting dust.
Just collecting dust.
Dude, it's crazy, man. Information changes.
It actually does.
It can really change, like, the way you see. And just like you said, like, even with looking at the stock market, and that's like, oh, that's a game I don't want to play. It looks too complicated. Oh, what's that? During like the lockdown times, I don't know if you remember this book that I was reading. I told you about this business book or whatever. In the book, it explains how to run accounts in a business. And usually, like when we talk about business, I don't think it's just the black community, but just business in general, you know, as people, accounting, numbers, finance is not normally people's strong points.
Yeah.
And that's actually the thing that people struggle with. But I thought, you know what? I need to, if I ever want to do something, I need to know how this stuff works.
Yeah.
You need to get yourself, you know, informed, you know, on these things. Don't be afraid of the numbers and whatnot.
That's true. And I feel like everyone is a bit guilty of this stuff as well. When you don't know about something, and you look at it at first, you're like, oh my days, how can I ever? Yeah, you're a bit intimidated, and that's understandable. That's human nature. Like, you're always a bit wary of something that you don't understand or you haven't come across before.
Correct.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that you should just leave it and push it aside because you don't know about
100%.
it. Because again, it can be very beneficial to you. It could be very beneficial to you.
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna front you this. I'm gonna make my money. I'm gonna take the cut. I'm gonna give you just enough to keep coming back. I'm gonna go to the plug. Who is the plug? The stock market, right? And so once I understood the fundamentals of, like, the most important thing too is we don't understand how money works. That's a whole different language in its own. The relationship with money in my community is you make money just enough to pay bills. And so once you get tired of paying bills, you say, you know what? I need to treat myself to something, right? No matter if I gotta go in debt, no matter if I need to treat myself to something to take this misery away. So you treat yourself to something that you can't afford at the time, right? But it makes you feel good in the moment. And so because it makes you feel good, you say, you know what? I'm living. This is a reprieve from everyday struggle. Let me get back on the hamster wheel. And so the sacrifice now becomes hard because now you're saying, I gotta work, and never get that reprieve.
I'm looking at myself like, bro.
I'm like,
It feels like the Matrix. The Matrix. This is the Matrix explaining.
Hey, listen.
This is Morbius.
It actually is. He's explaining it, breaking it down. Like, hey, listen, this is your reality. It's not your reality.
Crazy. It's actually
mad, you know, when you think about it. It actually is very, very mad because, again, like, fam, like, I'm guilty of this myself.
We're all guilty
like,
at
we're all
some
guilty
point.
of it because,
All of
like, fam, when you think about it, we work to pay the bills. We pay the bills.
Enjoy.
We're like, okay, you know what? I've worked. Let me go and buy this. Whether it's not a meal, whether it's I don't know, whatever you're into, you go and buy something, and you feel like, yeah, my reward for working. But it's just a cycle. You just go round and round and round and round and round, and it's just like, where's the progress? Where's the actual development when you're looking at it?
Exactly, 100%.
I'm willing to do that, right? And so that's the mindset comes in and say, everybody around me had the same problem. No one represented the solution. So if I don't change something, I'm only going to end up like everybody else I know. Somebody has the solution somewhere. There's too many people out here living the life of their dreams that I'm watching. They know something I don't know. And the only thing that they had was access to a different type of information. So once I went and got the information, I now wanted to sing from the mountaintop, like, yo, look at this dope thing I found. Everybody can be a part of it. And then when I showed it to people, they was like, that ain't it, bro. I'm not about to do that. And so I realized how powerful it was for me to, one, become economically, like, powerful in my mind. Because the thing about investing, especially in stocks, is that piece of ownership of everything that I use now makes me say, well, if I own that Apple, God, I don't care about buying an Apple phone. If I'm gonna wear Levi's and I'm gonna wear Timberlands, if I can own VFC Corp, then I own the stuff that I'm buying. I'm okay with that. Like, that subtle shift in my mindset changed everything for me. Because now I was after just owning everything that I consumed. In the beginning, that was my introduction to the game. Let me just own everything I consume and then I'll feel okay. Owning a stock is like, it's owning a percentage of a great business. And so once I understood that concept, I understood that the key to wealth is through ownership. Like, that was one of the things that made it click, because I studied the wealthy people. The key to building wealth is not how much you can work. You can't work your way to wealth. You gotta invest your way to. And all wealthy people, black, white, Asian, Chinese, they own a whole bunch.
Major key. Major key.
Wow. Woof. So you can't work your way to wealth, you have to invest it.
Yeah.
It's mad.
And it's all ownership. When you think about it, like, even especially probably real estate property is probably the biggest thing. That's ownership. Everything.
Ownership, yeah.
Even the video that we were playing, even before we started recording of like LeBron's whatever.
Yeah.
It's all ownership.
It's ownership. Man. It's true, you know. It's actually true,
man.
Because like when you even think about like, whoever is even athletes or whatever, yeah, even the ones that, a lot of these athletes are on a lot of money in terms of, and that's work for them. They're on a lot of money, but there's some athletes, yeah, that have taken it to the next level, or even musicians as well, to take it to the next thing. You think about 50 Cent, you think about all of these guys, they own stuff. They are actually owning stuff. It's not just the money they're getting in from their work, which is whether it's their artistry or their sport. It's actually from what they own, which is major key, man. Major key alert.
Yeah.
Oof.
The people who aren't wealthy is because they don't own nothing. You only have your money sitting in cash. If your money is just sitting in cash, realistically, you're becoming poorer every day.
Right. Or they own depreciating assets.
And that's what cash is. It's a depreciating asset because the more money they print, the more money that money loses value. Yeah. So if it's just sitting, it's the reason why the bank wants you to have your money there. So they can take it and use it and invest it so much and be like, hey, it's just sitting, I'm gonna give you 50 cents on whatever you had in there. Right. And so the idea of ownership was, we can just start owning everything that no matter if it's just a stock. Like that's powerful because if you can start owning the businesses that you now consume every day, you turn a one-time transaction to a lifetime of profit. Because if I go to the store and buy a pair of Nikes, that's a one-time transaction. In order for me to get something from them again, I gotta come back and buy another pair of Nikes. But if I own the Nike stock, long as I own it, it's a profitable vehicle for me. So that one-time transaction can become a lifetime of profit if I own that business. And another great thing about the stock market is it makes me pay attention to the world. And so now I understand what's going on in the world. I started learning business cycles, market cycles. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now I can understand, this is okay. Things are going out of business. Okay, we're in this cycle. Okay, people are hiring. Okay, we're in expansion cycle. And so now I took an economic class on my own without just understanding the world. And so you start understanding when something is happening in China. Okay, something happening in China, so I own Apple. Apple has 20% of their revenue in China. Okay, they might take a little hit right now.
What do you say to people that don't think they have enough money to invest?
So the important thing for me to tell them is start where you are. You build a mansion, you build an empire, you build it brick by brick. Like you start with $25. If you can do $25 a month, that's cool. If you can do $25 a week, that's cool. Because what happens is, once you start understanding the power of how your money works, you'll start saying, I don't need to do that because that's taken away from this. That 25 will now become $50. Guaranteed. That 50 will now become 100 because you're gonna start doing more with less. The person who works out and sees that they drop 10 pounds in 2 weeks says, you know what, I'm gonna go a little harder because I know if I can drop 10, I can drop 20, right? I know if I see one muscle shape up, I know it's possible. The word possible is so powerful. Possible changes the game. Instead of it being impossible, we now say I am possible or I'm possible. That changes the dynamic. So the first mindset is saying, invest in your first stock. It don't have to be a winner. It doesn't have to be a home run. It can be an AT&T stock that costs $26 right now. It may not be the best investment in the world, but you started, right? And the great thing about anything is you can't be great if you never go to practice. You can't hit 81 if you never get in the gym. So just get in the gym and then find somebody who can teach you. Be dedicated to understand the process. Warren Buffett said he reads 500 pages a day. We have to understand the power in learning and being educated, man.
Ooh.
Yo, people, welcome.
Wow, man.
That's mad. Hey, keys.
Major.
Wow.
And I like the video because it's practical. There's a lot of practicality.
Yes. It's not just like, because there's a lot of these kind of videos and they're just talking and like it doesn't feel like
it's just motivation.
It's just motivation. But this one is practical. Like, again, like that concept of just starting from where you are is very important because, again, a lot of people are scared to start just because they're looking like, bruv, how am I ever going to reach this level or whatever? But where you can start in your own small lane, do it.
Definitely. And you have to start some way, someday,
That's the thing.
You're not gonna get to like the exit of the building without stepping through out through the door.
100%. That's the thing. And again, with time, knowledge comes, and you like even think of whatever job like you ever done or anything like that. On day one, you will not you felt like a lost sheep, like you didn't know what you were doing. But as time goes on, you get more confident with the role. You get to maybe you get faster with it, more productive, and all that kind of stuff. So again, time is a teacher. And again, like he said as well, which is I think is very important as well. You need to learn. You need to, whether that's from watching stuff or reading stuff, or even from just having conversations with people or people that you even respect, or even just anyone. Because I feel like you can learn from anyone. Like learning is key. I don't think you should ever feel like you know everything, or there's no, or you can't, or you're always right, or stuff like that. Like, fam, there's always room for learning.
Yeah, learn and apply, and then everything takes care of itself. Everything takes care of itself. So.
Fam, I'm gonna have to watch that video again, boy. Take some notes.
Well, guys, there you have it. Again, something different, but we always want you to leave with something.
100%.
So I think, I believe for us, just like you guys watching, listening, it's definitely benefited you.
100.
Yeah.
So maybe I will buy that Man United stock.
Oh, I'm not buying the Arsenal one. I'm definitely not buying the Arsenal one. Hey. But the Nike stock, I think I'll start Nike.
I'll do Nike.
I think I'll start in Nike. I'm going to start in Nike. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching, listening. Peace.